What's up, you guys? This video is sponsored by Crystal of Atlan, a brand new free-to-play action MMORPG that is officially live and available right now worldwide. Crystal of Atlan features a smooth and dynamic combat system with aerial combos that honestly feel more like a fighting game than your typical MMO. All 11 classes are unlocked from the start, no paywalls, so you can dive in, mix and match your subclass, and build something that truly fits your playstyle. The game includes solo and co-op style dungeons for gear progression, equalized PvP in both 1v1 and 3v3 formats, and a solid endgame loop, whether you're in for it for the loot grind or just competitive ranking. I played the precursor test with my roommate Saint, and I gotta say, we were both surprised at how polished the game truly felt back then, and it's even better now. The response time was just so smooth, the combat felt super responsive, and I genuinely enjoyed staying up till 5 a.m. because the PvP was just that addicting. Crystal of Atlan is also multi-platform, including PC, console, and mobile, so everyone should be able to participate. So if you are interested, right now is the perfect time to jump in. You can use the link down below to download Crystal of Atlan today, and you'll still be able to claim some of those launch rewards as well as some of the other extra events that are currently going on. With that being said, I've been having an absolute blast playing on the launch. I've been clearing all of the PvE content on my gunner alongside some of my friends, and that class absolutely cranks damage. Funny enough, we actually managed to claim the #1 fleet spot on our server leaderboards across several areas, and in my free time, I've been working on climbing through the ranked PvP leaderboard on my Berserker. Also, I hate Starbreakers. We have a couple of fleets that are ongoing for different characters if you are interested in joining us, and a big thank you to Crystal of Atlan for sponsoring this video. All right, guys, so if you didn't see today, we got a community letter update. Now, I'm not under NDA for this, so at least I wasn't told that I was. So if I do, if I do say anything here, please forgive me. What I can say is, Matt goes around and he's been going around and he's been talking to different people in the community. Yes, Giga Chad Matt, the big buff guy. He's been going around and he's been asking for player feedback and trying to gauge how people feel. He's been doing this for the past couple of weeks, actually. Before the Korea meltdown, after the Korea meltdown, and yeah. He's been trying to hear what people have to say. And so I did talk with him for about 45 minutes. Honestly, it was maybe an hour. And I know he talked to a lot of other people. So for I didn't go over, I won't go over the actual specifics. What I would say is that I spent a lot of time telling him more of a reason. I would assume that everyone that talked to him privately probably gave him a lot of feedback on the game in general. But I don't think that is the best type of information that I could give, right? And the reason why that is AGS is the publisher. And at the end of the day, I mean, if you've been playing the game for a while, you kind of know that they definitely can take feedback. And I know that sometimes we get some nice changes. I think are great. But there's a lot of things that I think that the specific team at Amazon could do a lot better, right? So I spent my time with him giving him feedback about what I think they could do better. You know what I mean? I thought that was more useful info. I'm pretty sure, we did that. If you remember, we did viewer call-ins and everybody was saying the same thing, right? Because they're not unique ideas. These are a lot of things that you guys also just kind of agree with in general. It's a very, very common knowledge. Everyone probably says the same thing, X, Y, and Z, right? But the 10-cent glaze is fucking crazy, guys. The 10-cent glaze is crazy. I just want to make this very clear, guys. Who do you think made these things, guys? They're getting put into the 10-cent glaze. I'm not saying they these are all getting put into all versions of the game. I don't know. This is just some fucking China fever shit up in this bitch, which is fine though. Anyway, so I spent a lot of my time telling him what I think they could do better as the publisher, and he didn't really say anything for a solid hour. I felt kind of bad. I sat there and I just yapped straight up for 1 hour, but I had almost a presentation, right? Of all of the things that I think that they could be doing better. And so I want to give a big W in the chat for Matt for taking a lot of the feedback, at least some of it, and putting out this community letter. And the reason why I want to do that is because I think it's incredible and awesome that if you go through it, it's just a lot of positive. People are just happy, right? About just getting communication. There's one weird guy, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but in general, it's just a lot of people that are really happy, right? Because they're just communicating more. And some of the things in here, specifically when I read this, for me, it's damn, I gave feedback about certain things and they included it. Not because of oh, the idea is so good. My point is that has nothing to do with that. It's more that they took feedback and they implemented it. And I think that is fucking awesome. Again, these are all things that I think it's not want you guys to understand, these are all things that you guys would say. I promise. So this morning, they put out a community letter, and the community letter is quite long. I think Castform linked it, so we're gonna go over it today. No, I don't want, that's not what I'm trying to get out of this. I think it's important for me to give context on why I'm so happy about the post. It's not for me to take some fucking miraculous credit. I don't want that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm telling you, it's all things that you guys tell me every day, right? It's all things that, like, if I said, you would say, yep, true, right? I didn't go in there and say, bro, I want some fucking, you know, spammable hell mode. I didn't say any of that, right? I talked about all of the things that you guys would say, yeah, true, right? Because I knew that, like, that's just not worth the time that I had chatting with him. It was more about, like, hey, as a publisher, these are things that you guys should do. Some big old naturals, just some things that I know you guys would be like, yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? I think that's important. Anyways, Heroes of Arcadia. We wanted to provide an update on topics we discussed and throughout our recent team video and found some within the latest Korean live stream. Okay, this for me, already good. Because they know that people are watching the Korean live stream. So mention it, right? We will also be attempting to provide some clarity on other items we haven't talked about yet. 3 quick reminders before we dive in. If you haven't watched the latest team update where Rox, Matt, and Henry cover some major upcoming changes in the West, you can find it here. There's a lot of context you'll otherwise be missing, as this is a follow-up to that video and provide the context necessary for some items, but not at the same depth. We are striving to be as transparent as possible. Right? So this is something I can say is that you say this often, but a lot of the times there's key items in the game that are not talked about, which feels not true, right? That is something that I can share. They say this a lot. They say they want to communicate more, but sometimes they don't. They say that they want to be as transparent as possible, but they don't, right? They're not, because you wait on, like, you know, every time they would say that, what would you guys say? What are items that you guys would say, what about this? Well, generally people would say, what about the API? What about the style book? What about, you know, X, Y, and Z? That happens a lot, right? That happens a lot. But don't want to share dates that could fluctuate this early in the process. To avoid disappointments, we'll be sharing general timeframes in this article for the discussed items arriving after the June update. The next roadmap will be releasing early July. So if you're wondering when some of these features will be releasing, make sure to early July, guys, is going to be the roadmap. On that roadmap is probably going to be early July is post low on. I think there'll be a low on thing, but yeah, post low on. Similar to my note above, there are these items that are in active development, so you may see changes throughout the process of bringing them to the West. We will share any major updates or changes as soon as we can. June update. Transparency, that's something I want them to say. We aren't allowed to discuss potential projects if they're in development or not. Yeah, that is fine. Absolutely, right? I think sometimes telling people that it's not going to happen or just saying that we're still not done yet or it's not ready yet, it's fine. Just say the answer. Rather than saying nothing, it doesn't matter if people go like meme on you, oh, so there's no, thanks for a non-update. That doesn't matter, right? Because people with a reasonable mind will just be like, okay, right? It is what it is. But not saying anything, I think, is so much worse, right? That's how life is in general. When you don't say anything, it's just worse, right? It's just fucking worse. Just say literally the truth, right? Thanks for nothing. Yeah, exactly. As June was on the previous roadmap, we wanted to share a few adjustments that will be included soon. Raid balance and resurrection system for Kazaros. With the June monthly update arriving several weeks after Act 3 raid, several weeks by the way, we'll be implementing a resurrection system. So the res system will be several weeks after the raid is released, but from Henry's clarification, it looks like the raid balance of Act 3 will be included. We'll be implementing a resurrection system and decreasing the difficulty of several past raids. So this is the Behemoth, Echidna, Aegir, and Belshazzar nerfs. Wow, Belshazzar with Frontier on top of Belshazzar nerfs. Gonna be pretty interesting. The June release notes will have full detailed descriptions for both the raid balance and adjustments along with the resurrection system. But the quick summary is that each player will receive a single revive per gate attempt. that can be used after dying to most thing, excluding, you know, basically mechanics. Time to gatekeep Behemoth to only 1700. Guys, this doesn't matter. This is all nonsense, guys. Like, it's all nonsense. Like, these gotchas of like, oh, like it's just, these are all good things, right? Like, the reality is all of these things are good things. Nerfing the raids, it doesn't matter. The raid is literally a meme. When I go play Crystal of Atlan, we one-shot these fucking things. It's just a farm, guys. At this point, they're not fun. Okay, they need to design fun content. Going back and doing Behemoth, Echidna, Aegir, or even Brawl at this point, it's not fun, guys. There needs to be actual fun content, actual difficult content in the game that's designed for people that want to do difficult stuff, right? But it's just gold, guys. This is, at this point, doing any of these, it's just gold, right? And so what they need to do is create high-end content that's difficult for people that want to do that. But these are all just go in, get your gold, get the fuck out. You know, I've realized that even after playing Crystal of Atlan, although I think there's some crazy shit in that game, you're just going in there to get your fucking mats. Like Purgatory, you go in there, you one-shot the thing, you get the loot, you leave. Like, it's what it is. These are just, they're not even raids anymore, right? It's not even raids anymore, right? I think it's good at this point to release Act 3 with the nerf to make it a little bit more chill. And I think not having the reses right away, because people have been waiting for this for a very, very long time, I think is fine, right? I think it's fine to let them at least experience the raid without the reses and then add it in afterwards so people can just enjoy the fucking raid, right? You know, that's just how the game should be. There should be challenging content. The farm should be easy. And this will allow the first few weeks of the Frontier system to remain challenging for Act 3. This is fair because people have been waiting for this raid for a long time. We've just become off very boring, like just nothing challenging in the game. I think it's fair for the people that are currently playing in the end game. They deserve that. But we'll ensure that all raids will become more accessible for casual players and alternate characters. At this point, that's the way the game should be, right? At this point, the game needs to be more casual, more accessible. Let the farm be farm. And just make it so you can res and just go in there and have a good time. Fuck around. It's just farm, bro. Like, boys, you know what I mean? It's just farm. If in this kind of a game, it's literally just farm, right? We have to change. I think the game needs to change. And obviously not everyone's going to agree, right? But the game needs to change, and the players that play the game that do enjoy it either will stop playing or they'll be able to be understanding that farm is different than prog. And or the better way I could phrase this is that's how a lot of Korean games are. It's just you one-shot the fucking boss, you get the fuck out, you get your loot. You just grab shit, go, get it. It's just a way to generate resources. Now, ideally, what they need to do is ensure that there are end game systems in the game that you want to farm for, that you're like, what's going to motivate you to do this is fun and interactive systems that you want to get power for, i.e. the scouter is an important thing. Even in Crystal of Atlan, it's there, where everyone is fucking wailing or they're doing all of their shit to increase their power level. We don't have that in Lost Ark. So by adding that in the game, it's going to encourage people to either farm their raids or swipe. And honestly, for a pay-to-win game, that's how it fucking works, right? And if you don't want to swipe, of course, right? Like, you should be able to go farm. And so let people farm, push their characters, and then add some nice challenging capstone content as well. There needs to be a variety of things to do, you know, but we need to separate farm from challenge. You know what I mean? Farm needs to be different than challenge. It was funny, and I'll get to it a little bit later when I go through the Scara tweet, because I think there's a lot of really important things in there to talk about, but that needs to be different, right? It needs to be different. Farm needs to just be seen as like, it's stupid, right? And this will ideally, I mean, it will never eliminate busing. It will never. I don't like that type of gameplay in any MMO, but people should just go in, like, grab somebody, just fucking go. We're just trying to get some gold, right? Obviously, hard mode, like, maybe can be a little bit more fucking, you know, like a little bit more spicy or whatever, but I think they should have more first modes and things like that, because that's what people want too. And those players are also important, man. That's what MMOs do best, bro. MMOs do best at satisfying all types of players. That's why MMOs exist. Let them be the same and they just add the first mode. No, that's ridiculous. Then what is the incentive to push to hard mode? If you're keeping them the exact same, there should be some type of difference. What are we talking about? I'm not saying you're already getting a res and it's nerfed. I mean, that's good enough. You have a Frontier. It's fantastic the way that it is. But what is the point of hard mode? Then just do one difficulty. If you want it to be the exact same, then what is the point? This is a good way that it is, but your logic makes no sense. Then why even have normal and hard mode? Just do one difficulty then. If that's what you want, then just do one. Why do we have normal and hard mode? There should be some difference, right? Doesn't make any sense. Any game has this, by the way. It's not like this is a normal, every MMO, every game has this. There's new mechanics, something that keeps it interesting, right? Then why do we have two difficulties? Is some diff. That's my point. That's my point. You're saying no. You said let them be the same. Maybe you didn't communicate yourself well, but you wrote let them be the same. So there should be some difficulty between hard mode and normal. You would agree, right? You would agree, but you wrote that. So that's what I read. We need to flex solo mode up to 4. I think it'd be great. I think at some point, I did communicate. Yeah, that's fine then. I think me and you agree then. I agree. Yeah. I think the hard shit should be the first mode. I think we agree. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think that will happen. And I'm pretty sure going forward in Korea, we're going to start to see solo mode being released at the release of raids. This happens. And again, now I'm referencing Crystal of Atlan, right? It's not that I'm glitzing the game, it's something that I'm playing. They have solo mode difficulty for all of the, there's a solo mode and then the regular mode. Solo mode gives less, slightly, but you can just go in and go do it, right? And so I think solo mode should exist for all of the content that comes out, right? So if you can't get in or whatever, or you don't, I don't know, you want to practice, or you just can't get into a group, or maybe you just don't like playing in a group, doesn't mean that it shouldn't exist, right? But I think that's what they need to start doing, because the problem in the game, this is beating a dead horse. Problem is the game is it is and was not a flexible game to status. Everyone has to do the same thing. That's not right, bro. Everyone shouldn't have to do the same thing. You're trying to force mold people into activities that they don't want to do, right? That's not right. What I mean by that is there's somebody that really wants to do challenging content, so they want to make sure that the hard mode stays challenging. Then there's somebody that just wants to like progress in the game, but doesn't want to feel that like level of restriction and challenge or difficulty, and they don't have that, right? And then you have people that don't want the raids to get nerfed because they want, what's the point? Like you're making the game too easy, and there's people that want the opposite, right? So by not offering a variety of content or solo content or whatever, you're basically forcing everybody into the same type of gameplay. And that's just not feasible. You're not going to be a successful game by doing that. You're only going to cater to that specific audience. And all that's going to do is it's just going to create frustration amongst players because they're not going to agree on what the game should be. If that makes any sense. I mean, I think it's very clear, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I like the most about the Paradise system, is that it does reward with gold. You get the gear for Paradise within doing the activity. And so there's no like pay to win or whatever. And on top of that, it's solo. I love that. Now, will the content be fun? I have no fucking idea. But at the very least, it's a definite step in making the game a little bit more, or increasing the variety of the game in terms of progression. Should be that way more, right? It should be that way more. Stylebook and Stronghold portrait systems. So this is one thing that I did say. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the Stylebook? At least say if it's not happening, right? That was my general. Just say it's not, because you just sit there and you're like, when the fuck is this coming out, right? That's my point. Like, when is this shit coming out, right? Because you're just watching this shit and you're like, the update would happen, and then they do this thing, and they're like, oh, like we're adding, and you're still wondering, when the fuck is this coming out? And so it's those things that I complained. It's like, you can't say you're trying to be, transparent and stuff like that, this is why I appreciate this letter a lot, because these are the things that people are asking about, and I know you see them. So why not just say that, yeah, we're working on the stylebook. I know it's a boring answer, but when you say nothing, it just, you can't see, you can't. And what I was trying to explain to them is, dude, these Eastern games are so easy for you to do well amongst the Eastern MMO audience. Why? Because Eastern MMO players are just literal, like, I'm not going to lie, guys, this might not be the best analogy, but they're just like broken. So much so in other communities that like on Maple, they just accept it, right? It is what it is. Because the game's been around for so long, they just accept it. Like, yeah, fuck it, it is what it is. And honestly, it's refreshing. In some ways, it's refreshing because they don't bitch a lot. At least, You guys are still like on the way to being, some of you guys, it's your first Eastern MMO. You're on the way to being broken. You know, you're you're on your motherfucking way. So you still complain and shit a lot, which is fine, rightfully so. My point is that it's so easy to like win over your audience by just doing the bare minimum of being communicative, right? They really do care. Like that whole meme, it's so easy to take that. It's free, right? It's easy to do that just by giving a little bit more of a shit than your competitors, which is not a lot, right? It's actually not a lot, right? It's just by giving a shit a little bit more than your competitors, you can win over so many players by just going, yeah, bro, like W, they communicate, like, you know, that's it. Because what is your competition? Like, there is no Eastern MMO company, guys, that people are going to say like, oh my God, they're the GOATs. Be careful, Stoopzz. It's NCSoft. Never trust Kakao Games. Didn't Nexon scam their players 10 years ago? Like, dude, it is so easy to just fucking compete with any of these companies by doing the bare minimum, right? By doing the bare minimum. And so the bar is so low, guys. It's like this is fucking 8th grade PE. We're doing hurdles and everyone's chonky as fuck. You remember hurdles back in the day? When my dude, I was nervous. When hurdles is coming around, bro, I remember, I'll never forget this shit, bro. I was doing PE. There was the hurdles. My love handles were quaking. And I'm staring at this thing. And of course, this girl named Ashley is right behind me. She had the biggest bazungas. And I'm like, fuck, why did you put me in front of her? Actually, true story. I ate shit on the first hurdle. Boom. Just quake, right? And then she said, can I escort Oliver to the nurse's office? And they said yes. And I was like, yo. Now, I'm pretty sure she just wanted to walk my slow ass over to get out of PE. It is what a motherfucking is. But hey, I was happy about it. That was my best day. That was my best day, guys. This is actually true. Actually true. That was my best day. I'm pretty sure she wanted to get into PE, but hey, I was happy about that. Oh my God, I love it. I ate shit bad though. We're excited to announce that the stylebook feature will be arriving in the main June update at the end of the month. We'll provide a full overview in the June release notes, but a quick summary of the stylebook. It's a tool that allows players to upload screenshots of their outfits and styles for other players to use as inspiration. Players can upvote various looks and favorite them to influence their own styles. We're very interested to see who will emerge as the style icons in the West. You know what it doesn't say in here though? Does it let me download it? Does it let me import it? It says screenshots, but does it say import? I don't know if this was not communicated poorly. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Yeah, if the owner lets you. Oh, the owner has to make it public through the actual thing. Is that how it works? Oh, so maybe they won't make it public. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's just not explained well. That's how it does work, though. You can import the styles that you do see. Now, the stylebook required the API. Maybe not. Maybe they're working through that. We'll find out. So there it is, guys. Along with the stylebook feature, new screenshot tools will be available, including the frame feature and a stronghold where players can display their favorite screenshots. So now, guys, you can put your favorite screenshots in your stronghold. Now, surely, guys, like for me, I'm going to do all of my raid prog screenshots with the boys. Be like, yeah, man, that was so much fun. I enjoyed playing with you guys. There's me and the boys. Da, 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 da. Surely you guys are going to do a bunch of grab gooner fucking, you know, is that going to happen, guys, or what? Surely that's not going to happen. At the very least, guys, we are not being held back on something that they don't think will be. Obviously, like there's going to be some weird screenshots, but I'm happy to see that they are just doing it anyway. Right? I think that is a big W. I want to see them just, bro, the game is what it is, guys. The game is what it is. and not, I mean, there will be weird screenshots 100%, but fuck it, man. If Smilegate made it, put it in the fucking game and don't restrict something at the expense of a weirdo. Right? Like, don't restrict something at the expense of a weirdo, right? I just want them to do shit and just do it, bro. Everyone's a fucking adult here. And that is what it is. It's not like we're fucking, you know what I mean? Like, like, we're all adults here. It is what it is. It's embarrassing that the West try to be the good guys. All regions at the end of the day are being played by the same people. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's all the same shit. Mokoko Bootcamp. While we saw a lot of positive feedback reinforcing the decision to tie Mokoko status to 10x raid clears, we also saw some player concerns about the system still having an item level cap after we shared the plan changes. So we wanted to share the plan level. When the Mokoko Bootcamp returns this summer with the adjustments, it will be extended to Aegir Act 1 and Belshazzar Act 2 for normal mode. For these raids, we plan to have item level caps up to 1689. So what is Belshazzar normal? 1670. So that players will be punished for progressing their character region at their respective item levels. For those raids at 1680 and 1670, we will continue to look out for feedback. Still don't like the system. I think it's better that they extended the item level. I still want to see the raid be. I still want to see it be extended. So I talked to them. I do understand why there's an item level restrictment. The reason why is that you don't want to restrict people to restrict Mokokos based on item level, meaning that if there's one Mokoko that has higher item level than the other one, it can feel pretty bad. I do understand that. I think what's more annoying than the item level for me is that I do think it should be extended to at least, I mean, Aegir Act 1 hard mode, I respect that. Belshazzar, I would love to see at least go to Belshazzar hard mode. My ideal wish is that it kicks in for the latest raid. I do think fine if it's going to be nerfed and you give people lives, maybe it won't be a big deal, but I would like to see it be at least extended to the latest raid because sometimes this system could be useful for people that take a break. That's personally what I want to see. That's the feedback I gave. I want to see it be extended to the latest raid because that is a problem as well, right? I think that there's sometimes people that are going to want to do hard mode, but they don't get the title as fast as somebody else. It's, you know what I mean? What if you play one character, you're not going to get the 10x raid clear. You know what I mean? So that is still my continued feedback. If you're ever watching this, Matt, anyone on the team, I think you guys should extend it to the latest raid. There's no harm in doing that, and I'll give you a solution for it. Have it kick in once full Frontier is in effect. That way, that's when it starts. When Frontier is in full effect, the raid's easy enough. We get extra lives. You'll grab the Mokoko. They want to grab the Mokoko because they want the rewards. Then that person that maybe is just, hey, like, I didn't get in week 1. I don't have multiple characters. I don't have the title. Whatever. I want to get it. Let me get in the raid. You invite that guy. He gets a 10x title. Then he now starts collecting the expert tokens, right? That way players can earn both expert and Mokoko tokens. There's nothing wrong in doing that. I still think this is a better implementation. I still think it's a net W. I think for new players, they're not going to be doing the latest raid anyway. Okay, like new people that actually are Mokokos, they're not doing fucking Mordoom. They're just not. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I think this is great for Mokokos, great for returning players, great for new players. I think this system could be extended to current players. It could. For example, guys, I only have one Act 3 hard mode character. I'm not getting my 10x title. Now, I don't need it, but some people might. You know what I mean? Some people might. So, yeah, I think this is the biggest feedback I could give. Great system for new players. Fantastic. Love it. Love the changes to it. Item level is totally fair. 1689 with the entry 1670. It's good. Right? But I think that it should be extended to the at least current players. You don't need it because there's a Frontier week 1, week 2 clear title. Eventually, I don't think people are going to care about this shit. With the reses, from Benji's experience, he's telling me that the raids are just so people don't care anymore. At least in Korea. I think the shift of the game nerfs the raids, making it farm is farm, giving people reses. I think people don't care. And I think normal mode could be a totally fine opportunity or alternative for people that want to be casual. Normal mode should be made easier. And then I think that you should always get progression mats for normal. Always. I don't think they should ever in the future make it so that hard mode gives a new progression material. It can give more. It can give more, but I don't think that it should give a different material, right? Give the same thing for normal, right? I mean, it looks like they will, though, Ebo. It looks like they fucking will. I mean, I'm not on the copium. I'm just going based on what they said. It looks like I expect to see some pretty sweeping changes this time. They have to, bro. They have to. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work. It just clearly doesn't work anymore, right? What I think really happened is they were way too greedy. They tried to milk people way too much, and it backfired. And I don't think it's going to work anymore. And so that's what has to happen, though, man. Unfortunately, the problem is, it sucks that this is the way that it is, but it's the same reason why you guys don't study the day before your finals. You know, there's that goated student, those goated studios that do make changes, but a lot of companies don't. They don't make changes until they have to. And that's what you're seeing, right? They don't. You know, they don't. It's just, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is that way, right? There's always Venom customers for the week 1 title anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The stuff is stupid. Like it's all dumb, man. I don't like carries in games. I never will. I don't like it at all. I really don't. But it's all dumb anyway. I don't, you know, I just don't like it. I don't think that should be in the game. At the very least, I don't think the company should endorse it. Right? I don't think they should be in support of it. That's it. I don't like it. I think it's dumb, you know? But I think at the same time, you know, you should let people that can't clear the content also make progression. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't care if someone spams normal mode and gets the same progress at some point. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Anyways, good change to it. Not perfect. In my opinion. Maybe some of you guys disagree, but in my opinion, this is a good change, not perfect. Skin collection book. So Korea is not getting this, but we are. Quick context, it's a feature that allows for more organized cosmetic collection that expands the number of available slots to stash cosmetics in your inventory. Basically, it works like the transmog system in WoW. It's terrible the way it works right now. You can't even try on multiple items. It's so dumb. I don't know, like, think about how bad this is. You cannot try on multiple you can only put on the hat. You can only put on the chest. You can only put on the gloves. Or whatever the fuck it is, rather. It's so weird, right? It's so strange. So yeah, it's an improved skin system. It allows you to store all of your things in this one little section where you can try on multiple things at once, and it's way better. It's way, way better. Also, it should be able to see items that you don't have and just buy it from that window. So if you want to buy something that you think is cool, you can just see it in the window and just purchase and buy, right? I think it's actually very, very good. This will release alongside the Paradise system this summer. So again, it's confirmed, guys, that Paradise is this summer. Without having the power increase in ranking systems found within other versions of Lost Ark. I don't know what the fuck this means. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this fucking means. I don't know what does this mean. I don't know what this means. I think CN is having a ranking system for the skins. Oh, that's dumb as shit. Okay. I mean, hey, I appreciate them explaining that for people that watch the Chinese live stream. No, I don't think Paradise has to do with that. I think this has to do with the skins. Oh, CN gets an item they can use outside of Paradise. Oh. Wait, are you sure about that? I don't know if that's what they're saying. I'm pretty sure that item will be, I don't know if that's what they're referring to, or people are saying there's an achievement system, but it says ranking systems. I think it's something to do with the skin. I don't know. Yeah, see, look, it's right here. We hope it's a helpful tool for expanding the closets of Arcasian fashionistas, but we don't want there to be additional pressure to collect every skin. Okay, so obviously this is in reference to there being something to do in China where you collect skins and get something from it. Okay, so that's obviously what this is. I should read the next line. So this has to do with them. Okay, all right, so WAGS. Una task improvements. In the last player survey, we had, okay, what they're saying by this, guys, is they want you to know that AGS is taking credit for this. That's what this is saying, guys. I want you to understand that that's what they're saying. In the last player survey, we had specific questions about your thoughts on dailies. The feedback provided by you, the Lost Ark community, helped us during discussions. So they're saying, hey, guys, we went there. We had to talk about this. We used your feedback to aid us in our debate. Why was it shown on China stream first? Because it is the first stream, guys. Kiko, What are you saying? It came out first. This is just, guys. I know your name is Red and you got the red fever, but I'm just trying to give you some. I'm giving you some context here. Okay, helped us during the discussions about the changes for the Western version of the game, as a direct result. We are very excited to bring the following to the West. Listen, guys, I want you to know that every single one of you guys that pooped on me about the survey, fuck you. And that's what I'm going to say. You can put that in the YouTube video, let them know. And for every single one of you guys that got mad at me for telling you to take the survey, fuck all of you. No, I mean that. I mean that with a capital F. And I hope you step on a Lego. Bad. Stings for at least an hour. That's what you get. No, all 10 people. All 10 people, Ricky. All 10 people. Exactly. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Daily Una's tasks will be improved to help balance the amount of daily and weekly homework activity. So I don't think them. Do we know how it will be improved? It's right here. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So they're saying daily Una's tasks will be improved to help the balance of weekly and daily homework when Paradise releases. So they're saying is when Paradise comes out, we don't want to burden you with another weekly task.
1,132 gift subs in the chat.
I think that's fine. I think it's just annoying. I don't think Unas are burdensome. I think they're just fucking annoying. They're so annoying. Daily tasks will remain. That's a huge ass. Sorry about that, YouTube. Daily tasks will remain, but once the reputation milestones are reached, the tasks will disappear. Daily Una rewards will be moved into weekly quest rewards. Meaning, guys, from my understanding, Una dailies just give reputation. That's it. And daily Una rewards will go into the weekly ones. Meaning that when you just do your chaos dungeons, all of your dailies will go into the weekly. Does that make sense? So now you just do weekly Unas. You grab the chaos dungeon one, you grab the other ones, you do the weeklies, you get all of the mats that you would get from the daily ones. This means, guys, no more Lopang. So for all of you sick fucks out there that still run Lopang, it's finally over, guys. I don't even do it anymore, but it is no more Lopang. Yep. No more Lopang. I don't do Lopang anymore, but hey, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Loading screen simulator is gone, guys. No more loading screen simulator. No more tripod setting around boom, 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 boom. You just grab the Chaos Dungeon one. Maybe you'll do the Cube one. And what's another easy weekly, guys? I mean, I don't even do them, guys, because what kind of fucking weekly gives you 3,000 shards? What kind of weekly gives you 10 leap stones? What kind of weekly gives you 1 ability stone? How is that even a weekly? I'll never forget this. I was in the call with Grumpy. What kind of weekly gives you an ability stone? How is that a weekly? A weekly should be seen as fat juice. Now, you can expect, 100. Imagine if your weekly gave you like 100 something leap stones. Kind of nice. Right? Kind of nice. Nice little check. It's just so bad, guys. It's so bad. So Unas, guys. Unas are going to be changed. General QOL. Throughout the summer, we plan to implement a variety of upcoming QOL changes. Everything from removing tripod levels and epic engravings to improving the support experience. So there it is, guys. There it is, guys. So the support changes are happening in the summer, 100%. Obviously, it's going to be announced at low on, but you obviously will be getting that in the summer. 2 QL systems we haven't discussed previously. Doesn't that mean we get female paladin in the summer? They said that already. So support changes, tripod changes, epic engravings, whatever, are the battle analyzer feature, a feature that displays the player's battle performance to themselves, and a comprehensive battle score, a form of gear score that factors in variety of power vectors. W's in the chat, guys. For these systems, we're excited to implement them as we believe it will help players better understand their contributions on the battlefield, but we will be on the lookout on the toxicity created by these systems. Basically, they're saying, of course, there's going to be some added toxicity because of these systems, but they're still a net positive, right? I mean, at the same time, everyone uses the meter. It doesn't fucking matter for us. But it doesn't mean that they shouldn't add them, right? It's not about it being a rat detector. It's about it creating fun for progression. All these other games that offer that, guys, it adds in so much more fun to the game. It does, man. You're going to see it. I promise you, you're going to start looking at your character. It happens. And what can I do to increase this number? That's going to happen. That's what's so fun about it. It is fun. It adds in that alone is infinite content. Because it doesn't feel good making changes when you don't see the actual gain from it. So now you're going to grab something and go, oh shit, this gave me X amount of number. You will all start linking me your fucking battle score numbers, all of it. You know, you guys link your item level. No one cares about that anymore. But now you will all start linking me your battle score number. You're going to do it's going to be a little screenshot. You're going to post it in the chat. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. I'm going to go, how did you hit 35,000? What did you do? Like, that's what's going to happen, right? So it's going to be gains update. Everyone's going to be trying to make gains on their character. It adds in, it's not also about telling somebody's power. It's literal content. It absolutely is. It's just, it makes the game feel way more alive. It makes you, Smallgate knows this. That's why they're adding it. Yes, they are adding it because it does help players better understand how strong they are when they're in the party finder. It adds in a desire to push your character, right? It does that in every game that it exists. It works. It's fun. And Lost Ark needs that because item level is boring as fuck. It's so boring. It's so boring. Something going up by 0.25. No one cares anymore. It's not it. But if everything was because it's not the only system in the game, right? Enhancing isn't the only system in the game. There are so many other ones, right? It's very, very nice. You know, it's very, very nice. It goes both ways though, Shad. Yes, it enables you to infinitely farm, but at the same time, there's pros and cons to every system. Being able to infinitely farm is great. Some people don't like the ability to infinitely farm because what happens is that it's the only thing that you can, it gets exhausting for some people. There's pros and cons to everything, right? I do think it's nice to offer infinite farms. I really do. But some people like the abilities to log in, do their shit and log out. It just depends for different people for different things, you know, different games for different people and different avenues. I like both, to be honest. I like games where I can just grab my shit and go because it's nice because you can play other things. Some people like the ability to infinitely farm. And I honestly, I appreciate both types of gameplay. I really do. I appreciate both, you know, but I do like infinite farms. Curious if they'll manage to calculate something based on 50 layers of progression. I mean, every game, a lot of games do this. It's not like it's a complicated method. Literally, I don't know. Fuck. I mean, almost a lot of games do this, right? A lot of games offer power, vectors, and they just increase in number. And it'll be interesting to see what's weighted as more, right? What is weighted as a bigger gain? You know, I think that's going to be more interesting than anything. I mean, how precise? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'm interested 100%. I'm interested to see that as well. Like, you don't actually know. Like, are they going to value like bracelets? Are they going to value accessories? Are gems going to be the most value? And honestly, like sometimes you don't want to interact with systems that are less, you know? Dude, trust me, man. It happens in MapleStory all the time. I'm like, I don't want to use this. I lose gains. Even if it is an actual gain, right? It is what it is. Another big W. We hope that the other changes will help mitigate gatekeeping. We hope that the other changes will help mitigate gatekeeping toxicity, such as updates to the Makoko Bootcamp, raid difficulty decreases, and the Kazuros raid resurrection system. We've seen this to be pretty successful in Korea right now. We've seen this be pretty successful. We're still evaluating the bound gem changes for the Western release and are aiming to have a further update in the next roadmap. I think at this point, there's no reason to not release the bound gem changes. I don't actually see a reason why they shouldn't do it at this point, right? Like, just release it. I want it. If I want to be able to switch my builds, it doesn't give the AP increase. Why not just add it? I don't actually see why. I can't think of a reason, you know. I don't know if that's Amazon roster wide. I'd be pretty shocked. We'll see how it works in Korea, and I don't actually know yet. But at the very least, if they're going to implement on it, that's great. Otherwise, I don't think there's a harm in releasing it the way that they have it in Korea. It's fine. It's literally just fucking the most neutral. You bind them, you get the flexibility of switching your gems around, you know? I don't actually see the reason why not to. Maybe this is room before the announcement. Maybe. I have 7 strikers. I don't want bound gem changes. It doesn't change anything for you. You just do the exact same thing you're doing right now. You don't lose anything. There's no AP benefit from binding. So you don't lose anything. You having 7 strikers doesn't change anything. You still play the 7 strikers, but they changed it. So yeah, Doesn't change a thing. The gem changes will still make damage gems cheaper. I mean, is that a bad thing? I don't think anyone actually cares. Like, I think it's already like that. They should let the revive work on the raid wipe. No. I don't think revive should work on raid wipe mechs. It's a mech. I don't think so. Personally, I'm not saying this way. No, I think that then what's the point of the mech? You just fucking don't do it. I don't think so. It does work. It does not. It does not work on mechs. It only works on like you just dying. The other people that care about now are just holding multiple 10 gems. If you all die, it doesn't work. If it's a mech that needs to be resolved and it's a raid wipe mech, exactly, that's what I'm saying. If you die failing the mech, you're not gonna fucking not, yes. But if my point is like, let's say you fail a mech where it wipes the raid, you don't just res. It's a reset. That's fine. Like that's just literally you just show up to the mech, don't do anything. I don't think it matters. There aren't even that many raid wipe mechs anymore. There's like a couple, but they could make it so you repeat the mech. Yeah, I mean you could also do that. That's fair. You could also do that. That's fair. You could also do that. A lot of mechs are just one-shot damage now. Yeah. Mileage shop. I mean, this is just a straight banger. Like, I mean, we've just got, like, we've got another one, guys. Mileage shop. Our policy for the mileage shop will be providing 10% of royal crystals spent through an in-game shop as prestige points. Guys, this is exactly what works in Korea, so don't freak out. Which can be exchanged for a variety of rewards in the mileage shop. It's important to note that prestige points are not rewarded through Steam DLC or MTX items. Again, that's the very exact same. Or purchase item with crystals, exact same. This can also be retroactively applied to past royal crystal expenditures. We are currently targeting August for the full release of the mileage shop. So another nice change. There is the mileage shop. There's not a ton that's in the mileage shop. I would say the best value in the mileage shop is going to be character reskin tickets. You can buy character reskin tickets with mileage. So for those of you guys that want to reskin your characters and how they look, you'll be able to buy that with mileage, which is nice. What does that mean by unpurchased royal crystals? Does that mean blue crystals? It's the same way it works in Korea. In Korea, when you buy gold, you get mileage. When you buy, you don't get it from like the bundle deal. I mean, it just depends. Like certain bundle deals don't give you like certain boxes don't give them to you. It's like it's like not certain items give you it's not like everything gives you mileage. I don't know the exact deets, but buying gold is certainly one of them. So if we are selling skins, it won't give it to you, right? I think skins do count. I don't remember. I don't remember anymore. I think skins do count. No, because like boxes don't, Jeffy. If you buy like those royal crystal, like those boxes, you don't get it. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I think skins do count. Yeah, honing packs, honing boxes, Solus. Yep, those don't count in Korea. I spent on card packs, that won't count. I think card packs do count. Yeah, like limited time bundles don't. If you buy, if the box is RC, it should count. If it uses a flat money, it won't count. No, I'm telling you guys, in Korea, I'm just saying in Korea, the fucking honing mat boxes do not give you mileage. Just letting you know they don't. I don't know if it'll be the same here, but they do not work here. I don't know why. Or in Korea, they do not work. I don't know why. API. Our team hit some delays. Here we go. This one was the biggest one to me because this one was so stupid for so long to not just say something, right? They didn't say anything, right? Like they should have said this right away. And this was my biggest complaint, right? It's like, how long ago was this discussed? A fucking year? No, it wasn't 3. She said it was like in a letter. It might have been a year. It might have literally been a year since that letter has come out where they said they're going to be doing the API, right? People would ask for an API. Then that's regardless. If people are asking for it and you don't do it, it's whatever. But if you say you're going to do it and then you don't do it, people are going to wonder what the fuck's going on, right? People are going to wonder what's going on, right? On our team had some delays in releasing the feature from when we initially stated we were looking into releasing it in the West, but we are still activating and investing a path forward. We know it can be frustrating for those who are eagerly anticipating its arrival, but we didn't want to remain silent on this topic. I mean, you were silent for a very, very long time. When we know it's important to various players, content creators, and fan sites, we will continue to work behind the scenes to provide a more concrete update when we're able to do so. All right. So again, really non-answer, but at least they addressed that, yes, we know we promised it and we're working on it, and it is what it is. Sometimes when you communicate, some answers are not satisfying. Is that a satisfying answer? For some people, obviously not. But at the very least, letting people that you know you promised it, don't just ignore it. You said you were going to do it. If you hit issues with it, whatever. Just say the reality of the situation. Is everyone going to be happy about it? No. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes I can tell you guys something that's the truth and you're not going to like it, right? Sometimes people aren't going to like the truth, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't be truthful, right? Sometimes the truth, what do they say, guys? They say sometimes the truth, what is it, guys? Truth hurts, right? Just be truthful. Hey, we can't do it right now. We're working on it. We hit an issue. It's going on. Okay. Oh, but you promised it. You know, dude, when my mom told me Santa Claus wasn't real, guys, I cried. I'll never forget where I was. We were driving to my friend's house, Chris. It was in Lafayette, California. I was going down at a stoplight. I asked her, Mom, they said Santa Claus isn't real. And she told me he's not real. And I cried. I'm like, well, who was eating the cookies? And it was like, Dad was eating the cookies. I'm like, that fat fuck eating the fucking chocolate. Why couldn't I get it? I was pissed. You know what I mean? I was fucking pissed. You know, I was. That's what I was pissed. I was pissed. It is what it is. I knew something was up though. Because my dad was trying to go on a diet. We started putting out carrots for the fucking reindeers and celery. Santa's going on a diet. I remember that shit. We started putting out celery and carrots for the reindeer. Dad was going on a diet. And I knew something was going on. Something's up. Something was up, you know? So no more cookies for Dad. Sometimes the truth hurts, guys. It is what it is. But hey, I do want the API in the game, though. You know, I do want the API in the game. I feel like everyone does. I think it's nice to have it. I broke my mom's heart. I sat her down, straight up asked her, and she told me the truth. And then she looked at my face and broke her heart. Yeah, dude, it's hard, bro. Finding out Santa wasn't real was crazy, guys. What does the API do? One of the best features of the API that currently exists in Korea is a website that will tell you when you put your character name in what is the number one thing you can upgrade to make your character stronger. And it will list it from least to most important. So what it will do is it will show like number one, it's going to be accessories. And then they'll tell you the worst thing. Like, don't bother with this. It's not that impactful. And it's a very nice feature because when somebody's new to the game, they go, Stoopzz, what should I do? Can you review my account? Right? It's like some Mashu content where he shows your character and he's like, yep, prove your gems, bro. Probably do your gems, bro. Like, you know what Matt always does in the stream? He like does the nod thing. Like, prove your gems, bro. Maybe your accessories after. He does like that shit. That way you can just straight up fucking do it. You can just straight up do it on the API. Like you don't have to actually speculate. You'll just know this is the most important thing to do. Right? He crashed out today. I mean, hey, it's hard to not crash out in this game, guys. I'll be fucking honest. This game makes you crash out, bro. Is there anything that we can't manually do it now? I don't actually know, but it'd be nice if you could just put your fucking, who's my shoe? Mashu. Chat made his crash out. I mean, it happens, bro. I mean, shit, bro. I mean, I can't, it's like, it happens, bro. Sometimes fucking, you know, you just crash the fuck out playing this shit. It is what it is. It happens. We don't really need the API pull prices thing anymore. It's kind of irrelevant nowadays, but like the big thing I would say is that, right? Have you been rizzing up Santoki since the dating show, Mr. Man? No. It's nice for account buying, but it's not accessory buying. The API will make Mathy Mo better for sure. Bro, is Lost Ark? I mean, dude, that's what we've been getting, guys. We've been getting, it just takes time, bro. Somebody asked me again, what it was one word you describe the current state of Lost Ark. And what I said is waiting. It's just a wait. You're just waiting. There's all these good things that are coming. There's like changes that are happening and it's just waiting, bro. It's just literally waiting. That's all it is. You know, that's really what it is. All right, guys, looking ahead. We have a lot of exciting content on the horizon with Act 3 arriving shortly, another big update later in June, followed by a roadmap early in July to share the future content of Lost Ark. As always, thank you for your passion, feedback, and support. It's been critical in helping us shape the future of Arcadia with a multitude of new systems, pieces of content on the horizon, some of which are designed for the global version of Lost Ark. Your feedback and passion will continue to be essential. In the meantime, we'll see you in Arcadia. Again, guys, just really good shit again. The game's been honestly racking up a lot of W's. Is it enough? obviously it has to be pen to paper, right? And so it's still waiting. We have a raid on Wednesday. Excited to do the fucking raid, you know, but it's still pen to paper. And you know, I think it'll be a fun summer. I think this summer will be a lot of fun. That's like, I think in general, what I can guarantee is that the summer will be a lot of fun, right? New content in Paradise, female paladin, lots of easy raid changes. I think we'll probably see a solo raid update, global launch for that, 100%. I think that will happen, absolutely. And power scouter, in-game battle analysis. It's all, yeah, server merge. Great, yeah, great point. Server merge. I think that is a massive L on the communications point of things, because I gave them a specific things that they needed to communicate on. And I'm not going to lie, guys, they communicated on 99% of it. Again, not because I said so. It's because these are things that you guys have been asking for feedback on, right? One of them was the region merge. Now, if the region merge is not in the roadmap, then if it's in the roadmap, then hey, I think it's fine. But if it's not in the roadmap, I still think that you should communicate on the region merge. You could just say that we saw a sacrifice in player performance, and right now we don't think it's whatever it is. Sometimes the truth hurts. Again, however, if it's in the roadmap, that's fine. But I do think they need to do a region merge. I do think so. I think at the very least, you could offer people the option to get them off the server, right? You can give people the option. I understand OCP. Okay, let them stay then, right? Let them stay, but give people the option to leave. They should give people the option, because again, I've said it every single time. You're literally holding people hostage. That's the best way to describe it, right? You are literally holding players hostage that don't want to be there at the expense of people who are playing out of fucking state or country because they have high ping. That's stupid, bro. It doesn't make any sense, right? And like for me, I'm not budging on that. I get it. There is no OC server, and you want to play the game. You deserve to play the game. You should have an OC server. I know it's a difficult situation because a lot of games in the Down Under, NZ area don't have OC servers, so you play on the West. But the rest of the people that do play on the West, that live in California or on the West Coast of Canada, or they live in other states near the West Coast, they're getting punished at the expense of other people that play out of state. And that doesn't make any sense. So if you don't want to merge it, which I think you should for the health of the game, if you don't want to merge it, or you don't want to sacrifice players that play out of state, that's fine. Give them the option. The only answer to that would be what? Well, if we do that, they're going to have less people to play with. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You can't do that. You can't hold these people stuck there. So I still think it's an L if they don't address it. You need to communicate on it. It was one of the things I think is very important for the game. I know people in EU don't care, and I understand that. Why would you care? But for the people that play in NA, which is a large portion of the player base, it literally is a hostage situation. So, you know what I mean? There are people that will dead ass move off NA West, I'm telling you right now, that live in OCE. Because I remember Bard played and did all of the raid progs living in Australia. I bet you there are people that live in OCE that already have ass ping and they'd rather play with more people. Not everyone, but some would. I bet you'd have people that would leave as well. But again, give them the option. Hey, do you want to leave? Sure, move over. It doesn't make any sense, bro. Everyone stare at the YouTube chat. Because sometimes they're unhinged, guys. Stare at them. You can say bye or hi, but just stare at them because I don't know. Sometimes they're aggressive. Yeah, stare at them. There's the outro.